All right, and joining me today is Nora Cornolle, who fights Joselyne Edwards at UFC Paris. That fight is on September 3rd. So, Nora, I wanted to start here.
Second,
Oh, sorry, September
September 2nd.
September 2nd.
Yeah,
Thank you,
third
thank you kindly.
was last year. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for the
On
fix.
the third, I'll be enjoying. I will enjoy my meal and my victory, hopefully. Yeah. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So before we get to talking about that victory and all that good stuff, you've only been pro in MMA for 2 years, and now I obviously know you're a Muay Thai champ and all that kind of stuff. But what made you decide to switch over to MMA, kind of like later in your combat sports career?
Actually, there is so many stuff. I think the first one was linked. So I had to stop my career for 2 years approximately, because I had health issues and all that. I gained a lot of weight because of like thyroid issues and all that stuff. And there was, sorry, the COVID at the same time. So everything stopped, as everybody knows. And when I came back, the Muay Thai environment was, I don't know, quite dying in France. All the big organization I used to fight for didn't like schedule any event or whatever. There are a lot of amateur stuff and all that. And plus the fact that it's not really easy to really uh, earn, I mean, your life, I mean, make a living, sorry, from Muay Thai. The purses are really really tiny and all that, and it's a lot of sacrifices to maintain a really high level, the level required to have a good performance for yourself, for the public, and show what is the real like Muay Thai at a high level. So I've been thinking since few years about MMA, but I wasn't ready because Muay Thai is really my sport of passion, like in my heart. And finally, I just made that try. In July 2021 was my first fight. So after training for 6 months, but I just try to train. Maybe the first time was in 2017. Like some days just like that. Nothing really serious because I was really focused on my Muay Thai career. So yeah, that's how it happens. And actually, I really struggled with give up on my Muay Thai career because for the first year I did both. Actually, it was quite difficult, in terms of it was intense. I had like 18 fights because I did a lot of IFMA competition, so the World Championship, European Championship, the World Games also, and I fought MMA at the same time. So yeah, and then finally after the World Games that were in Birmingham in July 2022, I was just like, okay, my next fight, my next MMA fight is in September. So I really have to focus on that now and see how I can attain my goal uh, concerning my MMA career. Uh, and my coach told me, Nora, you have to make a choice. Actually, it's like everyone, ever the other, but you cannot go and do one and another all the time. It will be like dangerous for you, and at the same time, you won't be evolving as you should in MMA because there is so many stuff to learn. So yeah, that was it.
So, and out of curiosity, so you have this long striking background, and you just kind of dabbled in MMA. But early your first MMA fights showed a lot of promise on the ground. You got a rear naked choke in there, you got some ground and pound work in there. How easy was it for you to pick up the grappling arts in all of that?
So my very first fight, I didn't remember. We weren't really on the ground because
No,
it
the
was
first couple of fights. Yeah, like the first two or
oh,
three
the first
fights.
couple of
Yeah.
fights. Oh, sorry. I have the first fight because the first fight was like two strikers against another one. But yeah, actually, I don't know. It's like it was. I will say natural without like saying anything about myself, like I'm so good or whatever. But it was like quite natural. I mean, it's like the girls gave me this opportunity and I jumped on that, you know, because, you know, it's like, oh, okay, you give me that so I can take advantage of this position from what I learned. And it was like very basic learning. Now I really improved in all of the compartments, grappling, wrestling, you know. But yeah, I mean, when I had that opportunity to finish, that's what happened, you know. Once I locked the position, I'm not letting you go, you know. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. And obviously, you know, it's gone really quickly upwards, right? You've gone from 2 years ago being like, I don't know if I want to do this full time, to now you're in the UFC. You're at the highest level in just 2 years. Were you
Yeah.
surprised when you got the call to say like your next fight is going to be not only in the UFC, but it's going to be in Paris too?
Yeah. Actually, Paris was good news, but for the rest, it's like I kinda knew it will come anytime soon, you know, because after the last fight was in March 2023 this year, and I won at the first round, but I was like, okay, it's my sixth finish, and you know, strike. You know, it's like all my wins are finishes. So I think I had every type of opponent. I mean, I had like for my second fight, I have a 4-3. For my third no, fourth fight, I have a 12-10. You know, so and for my last fight, she was 0-0 because it was like a last minute replacement. You know, so some people say, yeah, it's like I didn't really show anything or whatever, and in my opinion, I just did the job, you know. And so from what I showed, I think it was enough to show to like a big organization. And my manager, Jean-Baptiste Vergniaud, really did the work toward that, because I was like, okay, I'm starting like now in 2021. I was like, by summer or the end of 2023, I have to be in a big organization, or I just, you know, I won't keep up that way, because it's a lot of sacrifices, and you know, like the financial struggle that comes with it, because you don't really like, you know, make a living, especially your first fight, when you have like so little purse and you're an adult and so many you know, bills to pay. So you know, and I started again, as I told you, after like a 2 years break and health issues, and doctors that was saying, no, it's like you will never be able to make that kind of performance or make the weight or whatever, you know. And I was just like, okay, I just have to try whatever I can do. And with all of that, all of these battles, I will say, all of this war with myself, it's like, it's to go to the highest level. To be honest, I never practice a sport to like just for fun, you know. I've been all my life, I've been a competitor, you know. So now to me it was like the logic, you know. What following was just the logic, you know. And you just have to have a good stuff, you know, to push your profile and everything. So now, you know, that was kind of the plan. I just have 4 months. I'm 4 months late on my initial plan, but you know, that's still good, I think, you know. And for Paris, so actually the news came early June for, okay, Nora, you have a 4-fight deal with the UFC, and I was like, okay, do I will fight in Paris, which will be logical as I'm French, and it will be in 3 months, you know. And he was like, I don't know, they didn't say anything about that, so you know. And 3 weeks after, they were like, okay, it will be Joselyne Edwards, give us an answer, you know. And he didn't see his mail for 1 hour, and there is another mail and another email which say, okay, you have to answer now, or we will drop, like the offer will be, you know. It's like you're like in Mission Impossible, whatever, you know. So we're like, okay, this email will like explode to your face if you want to know. And basically it was maybe 2-3 a.m. in the morning in France, so you know, with the different off time and everything. And hope, I mean, he saw the email and he told me immediately. And I was like, just say yes. Whoever it is, say yes. I don't care. I want to make my debut. It will be in Paris. That is really awesome. It will have been a mistake for me from the organization to not do that, you know, because I mean, it's a perfect occasion, you know. So yeah, that's what it is.
That's awesome. Now, I did want to ask you too, because you know you're repping Paris and you're repping France MMA and all that kind of stuff. But I know when I watched some of your older fights, you represented Algeria. You got to wave the Algerian flag, and it's down in the corner on the broadcast and all of that. Do you mind sharing what went into deciding to sort of rep your parents' backgrounds as well?
No, of course. Actually, I'm like from a mix. My dad is like full French, as we know, I think, and my mom. So her father is were from Morocco, and her mom were from Algeria, the part of Kabylie, and she's really more like consider herself as Algerian, you know. And one day, my former coach, so the one with who I made the like two first years, let's say, he told me, okay, we have this organization which is a UAE Warriors that wants you. I mean, that one female on their cards, you know, but they're looking for people with kind of Arabian origins, you know, because so they have three types of events. There are big events, which is the UAE World, and there is the UAE Africa and Arabia. So it's on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They have all the time these three events in a row. And the thing is that they put me most of the time on the Africa, and then my last fight was on the Arabia, I think. And sorry, I'm gonna move. So that's why I took this flag, the Algerian flag, because first, Africa, there is no France, not in Africa. But secondly, it was like a really good opportunity for me to represent my mom's roots, which is like part of my identity. And it was a perfect occasion for me because I'm really proud to be, the product of the meeting of two countries. And as I don't know much about my roots, and I never, had the chance to go to Algeria, and I know everything from my mom, and, to link with the family there and everything is kind of complicated. It was a great occasion for me to kind of, have a kind of, I don't know, tribute, if we can say so, for my roots, and to show that I'm proud of my identity. So that's the mix of all these elements that make me represent Algeria.
I love that. Now, we obviously got to get to talking about your fight, because that's the most exciting thing. That's why we're here. Joselyne Edwards, not just in the UFC, right? She's a multiple fight veteran. She's on a 3-fight winning streak in the UFC right now, and that's who they decided to give you in your debut. What were sort of your thoughts after the initial Mission Impossible email about Joselyne Edwards, after you got to do, some research and you got to watch her a little bit?
Yeah. So yeah, it's oui. Bonjour, je suis au téléphone. Okay? D'accord? Sorry about it. So Joselyne, I'm not sure about what you said because we were talking at the same time, but she's like now it will be her like 7th appearance in the UFC. She's 13-4 with 4-2 at the UFC, so she's not a newbie. She's as I said, in some French to some like French media, I'm happy with the choice because they have that recruitment in bantamweight, and I know like 5 female was like added to the division, and I'm the first to fight first, and actually I'm the first to have someone who is not new, and I'm really happy with that because to me it means something. I have everything to win with this fight. And as I said to others, it's like this girl, I saw her maybe one of two of her fights once when I was watching UFC Fight Night or UFC card or whatever. And I was like, okay, so prelims, bantamweight division is that. That will be a pretty good test for me. Like to test myself is the perfect matchup, to be honest, because she's not an aggressive fighter. She's all the contrary. She's extremely calm, which can be like disturbing for me because I'm all the contrary. And she's smart. You know, she's not like you're not like amazed when you see her fight. You know, it's like, but she knows how to count the point and everything. She has some, you know, she knows the organization, she knows the rules, and she used that actually. She uses that. So I'm really, really happy with the matchup because again, I have everything to win, and I'm pretty sure it's like pressure on her that I'll be the newbie in her hometown to fight her, you know, for the very first time, you know. So yeah, I'm like super excited about that, like super excited.
And we're obviously excited too. Now, I usually like to end these things with a prediction to get your official prediction. How's this one end on September 2nd?
My prediction on my fight?
Yeah.
I plan to finish. I don't know what round, to be honest, because her last fight was a year ago or more than a year ago. So we don't know what kind of progress she made, you know, this year. And we are ready to any situation, you know. So depending on that and what she has to show, we have a game plan that we have multiple game plan depending on what she's gonna give to me, you know. And it's my job to finish this fight, you know, to not go to decision because she's good with decision, right? So no, you know, it's my plan to not go to decision.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Well, you heard it here first, folks. This has been Nora Cornolle, who fights Joselyne Edwards at UFC Paris. That fight is on September 2nd. Nora, thanks again for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you for inviting me, and I hope my English wasn't too broken.
Oh, no, no,